Hello, sixth graders. Today we are going to do a little review of solving equations, which we did a lot of this year, but we haven't really focused on it alone since chapter 3. So I want to do a little review with you of solving equations, and then we're going to have you take a quiz and review all these different types of equations that you could solve. We're going to start here with one-step equations. Now remembering back, you go to the side with a letter on it. The operations that's happening to the letter is I am subtracting 3.5. So that means, of course, I have to add 3.5 to both sides. And both sides meaning you could have a little bar through the equal sign here. And that means I add 3.5 here and add 3.5 here to keep the equation balanced. Then, of course, this is going to cancel. Negative 1.3 plus 3.5 would give you 2.2. And of course, you can check this answer by substituting 2.2 in for P. 2.2 minus 3.5 would, of course, give you negative 1.3. Second one here, again, go to the side with a letter on it. I'm adding a negative 4.2. So a lot of students think, oh, that means I subtract 4.2. But subtracting 4.2 on both sides isn't going to undo that negative 4.2. What you actually need to do is add 4.2 to both sides, and then that would cancel the 4.2 on this side. And then 8.6 plus 4.2 would give you 12.8. And then when you check it, negative 4.2 plus 12.8, those would have different signs, so I'd have to subtract. 12.8 minus 4.2 is how I would get 8.6. Some more one-step equations. Again, I go to the side with a letter on it. This is x divided by 5, so I would have to multiply by 5 on both sides. Negative 2 times 5 would leave me with negative 10, and I can check that. Negative 10 divided by 5 would, of course, be negative 2. Now, you might have forgotten, but remember, when there's just a variable here, there's actually a 1 in front of there. So this would be a negative 1 times a equals negative 24. And then, of course, I would want to divide by negative 1 on both sides. Negative 24 divided by negative 1 would be positive 24, and I can check that. Negative 1 times 24 would, of course, be negative 24. This one, they switched it up a little bit. The variable's on this side, so I'm multiplying by negative 1.5. So that means, of course, I need to divide by negative 1.5 on both sides. 3 divided by negative 1.5 is, of course, negative 2, and I can check that. Negative 1.5 times negative 2 would give me positive 3. All right, a two-step equation. So again, I go to the side with a letter on. You see I'm multiplying here, and then I'm adding 5. I first have to undo the addition or subtraction. So the first thing I want to do is subtract 5 on both sides. That's going to cause that to cancel. That's going to leave me with a negative 3x, and 2 minus 5 is negative 3. Now my second step, this is multiplying here, so I'd have to divide by negative 3 on both sides, and that of course would cancel and leave me with 1. So negative 3 times 1 is of course negative 3. Negative 3 plus 5 would give me the correct answer of 2, so the solution is x equals 1. So that was a review of one step and a review of two step. Now we're going to go into some multi-step ones, and there's lots of different versions of multi-step ones. So we'll just get started with this one. So this one will be a multi-step one because you can see that you have variables here. Now luckily they're the same variables, but I first want to put these variables together. Negative 2m plus 4m would simplify to just be 2m plus 5 equals negative 3. Now to solve it from there, I'd want to undo this adding 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides. That would leave me with 2m equals negative 8 because these have same signs, so I add and keep. Then to undo multiplying by 2, I'd have to divide by 2 on both sides, and that would give me negative 4. Now these can be checked. They're a little bit more tricky to check, but you can do them. Meaning you have to substitute negative 4 in here and substitute negative 4 in here. Answer this to see if it equals negative 3, but if you check it, you will see that that is the correct answer. Second one here is bearing back a little bit of the distributive property that we worked with a lot this year. First thing, in order to simplify this and solve for g, is I have to distribute that negative 4 into both of those. So negative 4 times 3g, of course, would be negative 12g. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Remember, this would be add the opposite. So when I multiply in a negative 4 times negative 5 would be positive 20. and then the rest just stays the same. Now on this side, you notice that I have some like terms that I want to put together. Negative 12g plus 10g would simplify to just be negative 2g. And then of course I still have plus 20 equals 19. Then I'm going to subtract 20 on both sides. That's going to cancel this, which is going to leave me with negative 2g equals 19 minus 20, which is negative 1. Then I want to divide by negative 2 on both sides. And that's going to cancel this, and it's going to leave me with g equals, well, negative 1 divided by negative 2 would be positive 0.5. And again, that can be checked. If you go back to your original equations, substitute 0.5 in here for g and substitute 0.5 in here for g and solve to see if it equals 19. Next one, you'll notice how we have variables on both sides. Well, the first thing I want to do is move it so the variables are on the same side. So I have two options here. I can add 2x to both sides, or I could add 7x to both sides. It really doesn't matter which one you choose because you will get the same answer in the end. I chose to add 2x to both sides. So when I add 2x to both sides, this is going to cancel and leave me with 15. Negative 7x plus 2x leaves me with negative 5x. Then, to undo multiplying by negative 5, I would divide by negative 5 on both sides. That would cancel, leaving me with x equals negative 3. And how I would check this is I would put negative 3 in here, see what this equals, put negative 3 in here, see what this equals, and see if they equal the same thing. If they equal the same thing, then that is the solution. Next up, a little bit more of a complex problem. First thing I have to do on both sides is I have to use the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute in here, but I'm going to remember that this becomes add the opposite. And I'm going to distribute in here and remembering that this becomes add the opposite. So negative 2 times x would be negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 5 would be 10. Over here, I just decided to keep the minus sign here because 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 times a half would just be 3x, and I just kept the minus sign there. But of course, that would be add the opposite if it makes it easier for you to understand. Now you notice that I have variables on both sides. I have two options. I can add 2x to both sides, or I could add 3x to both sides. Again, either option works out. You just choose which one you want to do. I decided to add 3x to both sides, so that's going to cause this x on this side to cancel. Negative 2x plus 3x is, of course, 1x. And then that leaves me with 1x plus 10 equals 2. Now I want to get rid of this plus 10, so I subtract 10 on both sides. That would cancel then, leaving me with 1x equals 2 because 12 minus 10 is 2. Then I would divide by 1 on both sides, but you know that dividing by 1 on both sides is just going to leave me with 2. Again, this can be checked. You substitute 2 in here, and you substitute 2 in here, and you solve both sides and see if they equal the same thing. And if they do, then it's correct. If they don't, then you got to go back and check your work somewhere. Okay, another one with variables on both sides. I have an option here. I can subtract 3x, or I could subtract a 3x. Well, I'm going to subtract a 3x, obviously, but that leaves me with negative 5 equaling 7. And I know that negative 5 does not equal 7. But remember when we learned about this, that means that there is no solution. Now, if this had said 3x plus 7, and this side had said 3x plus 7, then that would mean that there is infinitely many solutions. But when you get it where this does not equal this, that means no solution. If I had gotten 7 equaling 7, that would mean infinitely many solutions. Because your options when you have variables on both sides is you can have one solution, you can have no solution, or you could have infinitely many solutions. Next up, and this one's kind of just something to think about because we did this at the end of chapter 3 in the extra topics, is we also want to be able to solve for different variables. So for this one, if I need to solve for y, the first thing I'd have to do is add x to both sides. Well, when I add x to both sides, that causes the x to cancel over here. Well, 10 and x are not like terms, so that means it just stays 10 plus x. Well, I almost have y by itself, but so far it's still being multiplied by 5. So to undo multiplying by 5, of course, I divide by 5 on both sides. That's going to cause the 5's to cancel, which is what I want, and I'm left with y, which is what I'm solving for. Now that means y equals, well, 10 divided by 5 is 2. X divided by 5 is just like this. Now this might look a little bit familiar to you. This is a linear equation actually, but you probably recognize it more as y equals x divided by 5 plus 2, where the slope would be 1/5 and your y-intercept would be 2. Now they'll work a lot more with that in algebra next year, but I just kind of wanted to throw one in there to keep that fresh in your mind. Thanks for watching the review video. Now I want you to go in and do the quizzes. Now remember to take your time on the quizzes. You have plenty of time to answer each question. There's no rush because you actually want to go through the practice work of solving the equations. You don't just want to guess, you want to solve the equations by going through the steps to solve them. Thanks for watching.